Start with breaking news in Dallas, where a cement truck crashed into a building. I want you to take a look at this video from our chopper. You can see how it overturned. This just happened a couple hours ago on Northwest Highway, not far from 35. Mitty Hicks is live on the scene to show us what's happening now.
Good afternoon, Chris. So there's been some progress since we last spoke to you all at the top of the fort. Behind me, you see at least two tow trucks working to remove what Dallas police confirmed to be a cement truck that crashed into a landscaping building here on West Northwest Highway. Now, Dallas police confirmed that they received the reports of a major accident here on this stretch of highway just before 2 p.m. According to Dallas Fire, the driver of the cement truck somehow lost control and crashed in the building. Now, we are told that there are no reported injuries at this time. It's unclear if there were employees inside of the building, but again, no reported injuries. I do want to note, Chris, that there are a ton of businesses here on Northwest Highway. We had a chance to speak to employees at a nearby business. They said they heard a loud boom. They walked outside, thought it was an explosion, and that's when they saw dust fill the air here. Of course, as we learn more details, we'll keep you all updated. But for now, live in Dallas, back to you.
All right, Mitty, thank you very much. We're also tracking two other big stories right now. Someone stole an ambulance in Fort Worth and took off to Austin, intentionally ramming other drivers along the way. It ended in a deadly shooting with JPS troopers, and I-20 is back open this afternoon after a deadly shooting in Tarrant County shut it down for hours. Police believe that was a road rage incident in which another driver shot and killed a woman on the highway near Trail Lake Drive. Cole Sullivan is live at that scene with an update on the search for the suspected shooter.
Chris, we just got more information in the last 30 minutes from Everman ISD confirming that the person who was killed was a teacher's aide within that district. Police are still searching for the person who did this around 6:30 this morning here on I-20 near Granbury Road. Here's what that scene looked like early this morning, and it stayed looking like that with backup for hours. The interstate did not open until 1 o'clock or so this afternoon. The shooting happened under the overpass, and Fort Worth police say they suspect it may have been road rage. Officers say they tried to save the life of the woman when they got on scene, but she died here on the interstate where it happened. The school district says she was a teacher's aide and she may have been on her way into work. The district just started school on Tuesday. The suspect took off, and police say they don't have any updates on who it was just yet. They're continuing to look for that person. Everman ISD says in a statement that this loss is being felt through their whole school community. They're asking for compassion and respect for their school family and also their employees' family as they deal with this loss. Fort Worth police say their homicide unit is investigating. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Cole. I also want to circle back to that other incident that started in Fort Worth. A suspect is dead this afternoon after he led police on a chase through central Texas. The Fort Worth Fire Department says the ambulance was stolen overnight from a station on Old Mansfield Road. Texas DPS told us troopers spotted it on I-35 near Austin, but the suspect refused to pull over and started intentionally ramming other vehicles. Troopers attempted a pit maneuver, trying to push the ambulance into a spin, and when it didn't work, troopers say they were forced to open fire.
A DPS trooper then discharged their duty firearm, striking the suspect. The suspect was pronounced deceased at the scene.
The Texas Rangers have launched an investigation into the shooting, and stay with us. Luke Clary will have an update on what he's learned coming up tonight at 6. Dallas has been discussing a new police academy for decades. Voters approved funding in the past, but nothing ever got built. And now the city is going back to residents again. The Dallas City Council has agreed to put a public safety bond on the ballot this fall, with the police academy at the center of it. Senior crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez says some officers support the bonds, but others question if anything will really change.
Start position.
For decades, Dallas police have trained in what was supposed to be a temporary facility, and Dallas Police Association President Sean Pease says it's long past time to replace it.
This academy, we need to get it built. We have been in a temporary facility in South Dallas for 30, 5 years.
Dallas voters have approved money for a new academy 4 times before. It still hasn't been built. Now they'll be asked a 5th time. Chief Daniel Como told us last week on Inside Texas Politics he believes this time will be different.
But I do believe the 5th time is going to be a charm.
The Dallas City Council this week moved forward with proposed bond money for the academy, police property room, and a fire station, but not the pension or city fleet. Pease says the problem isn't money.
It's not about money, it's about priorities. When we look at the stuff that we are funding right now.
Juan Hernandez with the National Latino Law Enforcement Organization says for police, the academy is the priority and backs the bond proposal.
We need it. It's not like you want it, you need it.
At the same time, police associations are at a standstill with the city over higher pay, and Pease says some officers are now looking to leave.
In my career here, I've never seen more officers tell me they are applying elsewhere than right now.
I think that sometimes we're being used as pawns, or we're being used as the scapegoats when it comes to why is it that you're using so much of your budget towards public safety.
Chief Como says he supports higher pay for officers. We asked City Manager Kim Tolbert and the City of Dallas for comment. We have not heard back. So while Dallas tries for a 5th time to build a new police academy, the police association's leaders say the city also has to make sure it can keep the officers who will train there. In Dallas, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
Time now, 5:06 in the evening. Rush is getting underway. Station Wilson has a look at what's happening on the roads.
Chris, so we're watching the situation in Denton County. A major accident slowed things down for over an hour along 35W northbound and at one point also on the southbound side. So this is pretty close to Texas Motor Speedway. But as you're looking at the camera now, all of those lanes are back open. You still have slower traffic in this area as it's just basically trying to filter out from the fact that it was slowing down for so long. But soon that should be cleared out and things should look a lot better there here pretty shortly. We're also watching this situation. Let me go ahead and take a look at what's happening along I-30. So this is I-30. You have a stalled vehicle approaching Royce City, I-30 eastbound, and it starts to slow down just past Fate. So be prepared that if you cross the bridge over Lake Ray Hubbard, you're going to hit a little more traffic in that area. We're also looking at Central Expressway. We've had a couple of accidents there, one on the southbound side at 15th Street. That cleared, looking a lot better there and along Central in Collin County, and also our accident 75 in Gallatin cleared as well.
All right, thank you, Stacia. New this afternoon, board members just met for the first time since an outage halted all online services at JPS Health in Fort Worth. But some patients told Mitty Hicks they still don't know when the issue will be resolved, and some are afraid to identify themselves.
So JPS Health Network board members expressed a lot of gratitude during Thursday's meeting. They thanked staff, patients, and even the community for being patient with them amid all of these widespread outages. But for the patients and even the loved ones that we spoke to, they say it's simply not enough and they want to hear more about how the hospital will move forward.
This is ridiculous.
We're on the phone with Susan Goodrich, who is trying to get information about her son. She's in New Mexico. He's currently in the ER at JPS. And she says it's been hard to get information about where he's at because of the health system's outages.
Nobody was able to tell me if he'd been admitted, where he was, if he'd left, nothing. They couldn't tell me anything. I was told, we're sorry, we're in a controlled network outage. There's nothing we can do.
We've heard from other people who didn't want to go on camera, fearing retaliation from their care teams. But one patient told us in a text that he hasn't been able to get his medication, all while he's experiencing stomach pains without it.
I do want to take this moment to express my sincere gratitude for the extraordinary support JPS has received as we continue working to fully restore and safeguard our network.
While board members thank the community for support during Thursday's meeting, as they navigate widespread system outages, they did not go into detail about how it began on August 3rd, and no word yet on the health system's plans to avoid disruptions in the future. In the meantime, patients and their loved ones are hoping that outage ends soon.
And they need to put people first, not profits.
In Fort Worth, I'm Mitty Hicks.
WFAA has repeatedly reached out to JPS Health for an update on this outage. The health group says it is planning to issue some guidance soon, and we'll be sure to share it when they do. Now to a developing story in Central Texas. The Army now says 2 soldiers were taking part in a routine training mission when their Apache helicopter crashed Wednesday afternoon. The Bell County Sheriff's Office says when deputies got to the crash site near Salado, a fire was burning out of control. It scorched more than 150 acres and threatened 5 homes, but firefighters were able to save them. Today, the sheriff thanked every first responder and emergency management official who mobilized to respond.
Their professionalism, courage, and cooperation protected lives and prevented an already tragic event from becoming even more devastating.
The 2 pilots were soldiers. They were pronounced dead at the scene. Fort Hood's Criminal Investigation Division is in charge of determining why it went down.